thanks for joining us today. Normally we're talking to our travel trade partners out there, tourist boards, airlines, etc., but thought today we'd have an internal look and have a conversation on behalf of all of our account managers with Ian Smyth, our US National Sales Manager, on what a day in a life is like for them out on the road and what they can do for you. Because I know that a lot of you would have seen and met our account managers, and we have Ian, who is here today. We have Radesh, Evan, Corey, Jason. Am I missing anyone? I hope not.
Steve.
Oh,
Mr.
sorry,
Spurlock.
Steve. Yeah, God, everyone knows Mr. Spurlock, yeah. Are out there every day doing their thing, traveling extensively, having a chat. But today I thought we'd have a chat to Ian on behalf of the boys, because it's all boys at this stage, about what they do and how they can help you if you're unaware or you met them but haven't really gotten into an in-depth conversation of all the things that they can do on their behalf, on your behalf, sorry. So Ian, thank you for joining us today. So as my rambling intro would suggest, let's have a chat about what is it you guys do. So from a structural point of view, there's you as the US National Sales Manager, and we have Radesh, who is here in Canada as the Canadian National Sales Manager. And the boys we mentioned that work with you, and we have Renee Stanton, who is Director
Yes.
of Sales for Goway from a wholesale point of view. So what do you guys do? You know, it's a very simple question, but I know it's a lot more complicated.
Right?
Answer, yeah.
When you get down into the weeds, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and let me start by saying, first of all, Don, the travel agent community, the travel advisors, they're the backbone of Goway.
Yeah.
You know, a vast, and you know, it's funny because travel agents will ask me this often. What is the percentage of our business that we get from travel agents versus consumer direct? And we do have some consumer direct.
We do, yeah.
But as I always say, and I'm proud to be able to say this, vast majority, 3/4, sometimes greater than that, comes from the travel agent community, the travel advisors. So they're the backbone of, you know, we don't have jobs if they're not picking up the phone or connecting with us and our destination specialists. So I think the first thing that we all do, all those guys that you mentioned, myself included, is we're out there in a training and support capacity. We're oftentimes educating the travel agent on just what it is that Goway can offer, how we can be a partner with them in growing their FIT business. And for those of you out there that are Googling FIT, because, you know, I do know we're an industry of acronyms. You know, I came from the airline industry, and boy, did they ever love acronyms. But anyone who knows travel knows that FIT is that, you know, fully independent, sometimes they say foreign independent touring component. And what it means is, you know, we're customizing. We're customizing itineraries.
It's another term for customization.
It's another term for customizing. Or as I like to say, we're the dressmakers of the travel industry, right? Somebody walks into the dress shop. We don't necessarily have anything on our racks until you tell us what the occasion is that that you need a dress for, whether it's I'm going on a cruise or a wedding, etc. And then we get to work.
That's a good analogy.
I love using that one because, you know, most people get it. But yeah, it's in a training and support role. So educating them about, you know, Goway, what we can do, how we can partner with them, and then support them in marketing. Oftentimes travel agents and travel advisors will come to me and my colleagues, and they'll say, how do I, you know, promote? What are some of the great things that I've seen that other travel agents have done to help promote business, itineraries, etc.? So we do a lot of that. And we help, you know, give them selling tips, right? We help them to close the sale. That is what we ultimately all want, is to be able to match a guest to that customized itinerary. And along the way, we're giving them some selling tips. That, you know, falls under the support. And we want them to understand that at the end of this process, our goal is to make them look like, I always use this term, a rock star, right? Yeah. We put that itinerary together that is exactly what, you know, your guests have specifically mentioned they want, and we match the travel agent up with a destination specialist at Goway, and we get to work at putting that itinerary together. So we understand they're the backbone of our business. We respect that, And our primary function each and every day is to train and support those travel agents in being able to grow this segment of the travel industry.
When you're out on the road, which you often are.
Yes.
So step back.
Yeah.
You and the boys can be contacted via email or whatever.
Yep.
Text whenever
Yep.
an agent is looking for support. So you're basically, I don't want to say 24/7 because you have a personal life and families and
A little
stuff.
bit of one, yeah.
A little bit of that, yeah. But the guys in the team can be contacted pretty much anytime you need them. Someone new to any industry,
yeah,
I think it's inherent that most people will be shy or a bit reserved because they're new.
Yes.
And as you just said, like this industry is an industry of acronyms and special words and
Yeah.
all this type of slang, which is
Yep.
off-putting for anyone. I was actually watching something on the sports channel the other day. I can't remember who, Drew Brees or something like that. And they were talking about a quarterback's call.
Yes.
And he went through the calls.
Yep.
And it's out of this world. It's
Yep.
a second language.
Oh, yeah.
And he was saying when he moved into the professional leagues, he couldn't get over it.
Yep.
It took so long to pick it up. And while it's probably not as confusing as an NFL quarterback's calls, there are some words out there. My point is people may be shy to ask what they think are basic.
Yep.
Again, we always say there's no silly questions unless the same question's asked 3 or 4 times. Then it becomes silly.
Right.
What I'm getting at is when you're at travel shows, which you often are, of the agents you speak to, particularly post-COVID, how many are you finding are new to the industry and therefore can really use or can benefit? I shouldn't use, say, word use, can benefit from the support that you guys offer?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Don, because so many, well, first of all, there's been a huge growth in folks gravitating towards the travel industry. Some people are professional insurance sales people during the day, barbers, teachers, real estate agents, all of those kind of things. They have a passion for travel, and now they're looking to earn a little bit of money while following their passion, which is travel. And I meet a lot of those folks. And when I do, I get very excited. I've been in this business for more than 25 years, so I love it. I'm passionate about it. Airline, cruise line background, I always like to tell people. So for me, that is an opportunity for not only Goway, but for myself personally to help somebody to achieve whatever their goals are in this sort of business. And I think that Goway does a terrific job of not only providing, like I said earlier, these customized itineraries, putting together an itinerary for guests that come to you about a destination that you, the travel advisor, may not have a lot of information or knowledge of. We're going to match you up with a destination specialist at Goway that can obviously help you. But not only that, we have a tremendous amount of resources at GowayPro.com, which is our travel agent website, as you very well know, being Professor Goway. I love to promote our travel academy because this is another resource and investment that, we could, not be bothered doing, perhaps, but we think it's important. We think that the more a travel agent learns, the more they earn. It's kind of a cliche to say. However, it's extremely accurate.
That's
right.
where cliches normally come from, something that's proven
exactly.
true. Yeah,
that's right. There's a basis for it. So I think that, so a lot of the times I'm meeting people that, yes, post-COVID, they're coming into travel, which is terrific because travel is growing. And then I get the opportunity to tell them a little bit about how Goway can help support them in that sort of pursuit of passion and maybe a second income. And I help them to be able to grow their business, give them marketing ideas. I love to be able to share with a travel advisor, particularly a new one, or maybe a seasoned one, things that I'm seeing. And those are great questions that I get sometimes, right?
So trying to interrupt, I think it's important to point out, too, that when you meet Ian or Jason or Steve at a show, you're talking to them there at wherever that may be, but they have either just been or will be or previously have been traveling to other states, other areas of Canada and the US, and have picked up on other information. So while it's there and then in the moment, what Ian and the boys can offer you is a world of inside information because they're out there everywhere traveling. So,
Yeah, I mean, it's not only being able to offer them helpful selling tips, right? That's important. It's not only helping them to, as I mentioned in the beginning, closing the sale, because we want them to do that as well, but it's also supporting them. It's supporting them in their pursuit of knowledge, and I want them to understand that we're a partner, and we want to be a long-term partner for the travel agent. Because when they grow their business, comes back to what I said earlier, the backbone of Goway is travel agents, travel advisors. When we support their business, they ultimately end up supporting us.
Yeah, 100%.
So it is maybe a little bit selfish on my part, but I do want to see them be successful. So I love being able to share with them. I was thinking back. I was at a show in November of last year, obviously, and I had a really good in-depth conversation with a travel agent who was new, and all of this was quite overwhelming to her, and she admitted that. And I said, look, it's like, what's the other cliche? Drinking from a fire hose when you start out. Yeah. Not only the acronyms, but you also need to learn where to go. You've got a massive toolbox, and a lot of the agencies that new advisors will join, they provide them with so many great resources. It's a question of, where do I go? For what product do I seek out? What partner? So anyway, we were having a conversation, and she asked me, a great question, and that is, she said, Ian, give me a story or relate to me somebody that you may have met in the last 3 years that was in my shoes and is now successful. And I thought that was a great question. And I remember a particular case when I started very new at Goway. I met an agent, and her and I have become, pals, I guess you could say, friends or whatever. And I have watched her business grow. And one of the things that we talked about, she had a particular interest in a niche, if you will, for travel. And I said, let's you and I develop that together. I'll do whatever I can to support you in terms of I send her, when we have a new itinerary come out or a new promotion that sort of speaks to her, I'll send it along to her. She's taken some of our blog articles from our website. But what the backbone of her growth has been is her social media. And she was very sort of reluctant to get on TikTok, to get on Instagram. And I follow her now, this person that I'm talking about who's been at it 3 years. She's extremely successful, and she does just little, she might be working with us on a South Africa itinerary, and she'll do a TikTok or an Instagram of her having coffee in the morning. And she'll just say, I was thinking in 3 months from now, we're going to be on an African safari, and we're going to be looking at giraffes and lions and all that kind of other stuff. And it's a 60-second video or clip. And she's had tremendous success with that. So I guess what I'm trying to say is find out what your passion is and sort of chase that in terms of travel, and find everything and anything and a partner, not necessarily Goway, but another partner, and use what they have to promote your own particular travel business and your passion. And anyway, that's what she did. It's been successful, and I love seeing that. Yeah. And, that's, I think she's a great story because, again, like I said, 3 years ago, she was brand spanking new. Yep.
Deer in the headlights.
Yep.
But I think this is the important part. That was one, obviously, example. There are many out there. But the point I think Ian's bringing up, and the point of Ian and the crew's job, is to support you out there in things you may need. And while the account manager not necessarily responsible for this aspect of it, they're the spearheads and they spread the word on things like the Goway Pro Travel Academy. Particularly if you're new, or even if you're a seasoned traveller, you might know down under Australia, inside out, but you get a call for Peru or you get a call for South Africa. And you know nothing about it, then the Academy is there to back you up with destinational knowledge. It's not a hard sell on Goway, soft sell, not a hard sell. But it'll teach you all you need to know as a travel expert on the country in question. And one thing that's made Goway very successful, as Ian has mentioned, we rely on you, our travel partners primarily, because we're primarily a wholesaler, is that our model has been destination specialists. So when you call up about Peru or South Africa or South Pacific, you're coming through to a destination specialist who only sells that area, has traveled there, been trained extensively there as well. So the point of our support, because I'm part of the team that Ian's on, the educational side, is to get you to that level as being a specialist in a destination or travel style. As you mentioned with your example, it wasn't so much travel. Obviously it was, but it was a niche
Yes.
part of travel, which this person has focused on. So we can assist with that. We can assist with groups. We have dedicated group, not a dedicated group account manager, but Evan sort of focuses on the group side of things as well. All the guys will help you with group quotes and marketing tips and stuff like that. As Ian's mentioned, we have gowaypro.com, which has things like this webinar. We have podcasts, all educational based. So you can learn consistently with us by choice, or just by listening in on a webinar or podcast. By choice, I mean signing up for the academy. We have the Goway Pro rewards card. Do you want to touch a bit more on that?
Yeah, so not only are travel advisors going to be earning a commission, obviously we're going to pay them for the booking that we eventually create, and their guests eventually say, yes, that's perfect, and here's my credit card kind of thing. In the background, we have a loyalty program that agents can opt into. I think the vast majority of them, of course, do because it is simply money back onto a loyalty card that they can then use online. And I'll tell you a story. Again, I was at a travel show, and I had a travel agent come up to me, and she said she had paid her electricity bill the month previous using her Goway Pro loyalty card.
Nice.
Yeah, exactly. She said, why not? She thought, if this is a credit card, because that's what it is.
Well, I was going to ask you to expand, or I can expand. It's when you earn your points or dollars on the card. It's a credit card that you can use anywhere. You're not locked into a certain area of spending or brand. It's for you to use as you see fit.
Yep. So she went online and she thought, I wonder if I can use my Goway Pro loyalty card, credit card, to pay her utility bill. And she plugged it in, and boom, it was paid. So the point being that you're not only earning commission on each and every sale you make with Goway, but in the background we have this loyalty card that you can simply continue to just let it bank and grow, or you can say, yep, I want to redeem now. We don't send you the physical card, but we send you
it's all digital
an electronic version of the card, and you've got the number, and away you go. So
how does an agent qualify for that card?
What you do is first time you make a booking with Goway, we're going to send you an email, and we're going to ask you whether or not you want to participate in our loyalty program. If you say yes, we then do all of the work in the background. And when your guests return from their vacation or their holiday, etc., we will then take a percentage. It's based on your sales. You can find that at gowaypro.com. We then put that amount of money onto your Goway Pro loyalty card. Cool. And you can let it accumulate as you go. Agents will sometimes come to me and they'll say, I wonder how much I have, because currently the way it is, Don, we don't have the ability for agents to be able to see that. It's coming. Yep. It's coming later this year, 2025. And I'm always surprised when I had one just a couple of weeks ago. And she said, I think I have a good amount, but I'm not quite sure. So I said, let's look it up. I have the ability to be able to do that. And she had $280 sitting there. She thought she'd have like 100 and some odd. Anyway, the point is, it's a bonus, and it's a loyalty. And it's an extra thank you over and above the commission that they're going to be earning on each.
Often, seasoned travel professional or a newbie will come up. Again, the way it works, again, this is more for the new agents out there, is you'll have your client call you for a trip wherever, and then you'll call us, whether you know the destination or not, because we can arrange it for you. And we'll then put together an itinerary based on your client's requests and what you've thrown in as well, the bucket, because if you know the destination, we'll make suggestions. And we create it. Send the quote back to your client, so on and so forth. But at times, I've been a salesperson, have my own company pre-Goway, and I know, most clients are reasonable to deal with. At times, though, you get challenging clients. Okay.
Yep.
And they're either challenging because they're asking you questions you don't know.
Right.
Back to questions that you can extend to your account manager if you're unsure, or they're just being difficult for whatever reason. Okay. Now, one thing that we have, and it's proved very, very, very successful, is what we call a three-way call. Now, before I get into the details with that, I want to go back to what Ian's mentioned before. We are primarily a wholesaler, and I think you've heard through Ian's words that we value very much the relationship we have with our travel professionals, and we want to protect that at all levels. So when we offer a three-way call, it is not to poach your clients in any form. We don't do it. And as an example of how we protect our agent community out there, and I've had this happen, I think, twice when I was looking after Latin America, where we had a booking done. It came through to us directly. We made the booking. We do our checks at the time, but sometimes it slips through. We found out a couple of times that this client had booked, traveled to us to Latin America, come back, and then somehow we'd found out that they work with an agent. We immediately gave that agent the commission.
Yep.
No questions asked.
Yep.
Just a done deal. And then we advise the clients going forward, you need to work with your agent partner. So we are very conscious of that relationship. So when we offer a three-way call, it means nothing more than we want to help you, as Ian said, lock up that booking because it benefits you and it benefits us. It saves a lot of time by you being the middle person in amongst conversations where you can answer all questions, be it small, be it large, be it reasonable, be it unreasonable, in that one hit. So, Ian, do you want to just maybe, I've sort of explained it, but expand a bit more on that?
Yeah, it's, that story is, it's happened to me twice.
Yep.
Where a guest has ghosted the travel advisor for one reason or the other.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, no problem, in each case, and searched it up. And sure enough, for whatever reason, this guest found their way to us directly, ghosted the travel advisor. We issue the commission check, no questions asked, right?
Yep.
Well, not no questions asked, but
well, we did our research to find out why. Yeah,
we can see. Yeah. We can see that this particular travel advisor was working with us on a quote, etc., and for whatever reason went rogue. Guest finds us directly. We'll issue a commission check. I don't know how many other operators out there do that. I'm thinking back to my cruise line days, and
we can't say none because we don't know. But I don't think we've both been in the industry a long time. I doubt many do.
Never have I seen a policy, Don, that is so favorable to the travel agent. Yeah. And the reason why we have such a respect for the travel advisor and what they do. And we know, as you mentioned, for whatever reason, sometimes you don't click with your guests.
Yep.
And they don't want to tell you directly, so they'll just kind of ghost you. We've got the back of the travel advisor, and I like to tell the story, during COVID when we were canceling and refunding bookings left, right, and center. And the owner of this company made a decision to not recall travel agent commissions because, he knew that we were heading into a tough time, and the last thing a travel advisor needed was another person in line with their hand out saying, we need your money back. So anyway, I think that speaks to the spirit and the the approach that Goway has to the travel advisor. So that's a big, I think, bonus to working with a partner like Goway. We truly understand that. The other thing I wanted to mention, which is unique, I think, to Goway as well, is when you are matched up with a destination specialist. So I use the example of Thailand. Guests come to you, travel advisor. You're not exactly savvy on Thailand. You haven't taken the Goway Pro Travel Academy part of Thailand.
Nice plug.
No worries. We say go to Goway.com, have a look at our sample itineraries at Goway.com, which is our consumer site. That'll get the conversation going with your guests. You'll probably learn a thing or two along the way, so you can have a confident conversation with your guests. I always like to say those are inspirational suggestions.
They are for the most part. Yep.
Yeah, we know what. We've been doing this for 55 years,
yep.
So we kind of have an idea of what most North Americans are going to do when they go to Thailand. So we're going to put sample itineraries somewhere to start that conversation. Then you'll get matched up with a destination specialist at Goway that has that firsthand knowledge of Thailand, and they then become the travel agent to the travel agent. They're your travel agent, and that person is with you for the life of the booking. So, again, unlike my previous roles, cruise line, airline, each and every time you called the 1-800 number, you got a different person, right? Whereas at Goway, that destination specialist, what everyone else calls a res agent, is with you for the life of the booking, from start to finish. I just got an email from a travel advisor yesterday, and she said to me that she wanted me to make her destination specialist manager aware of how fantastic she was and helpful, and ended up making her look like a rock star. So that is exactly the kind of relationship. That's when I know we've done our job. That is I think our secret sauce is our destination specialists. They're going to help the travel advisor craft, curate, customize the itinerary exactly how your guests want it. And in the background, we're happy to sit there and not necessarily take the accolades, because, the consumer may or may not know anything about Goway.
Yep.
It really is about the travel advisor becoming that rock star. And when we achieve that, I feel like we can pat ourselves on the back, because that's kind of what we need
100%.
to do, right?
I think it's very important, too, for the newer agents out there who may be listening in to understand the importance of having one person who knows your booking from start to finish. It mightn't seem like much if you've not worked that way before, but it's invaluable, because immediately as the phone or the email's answered, the 35th email is answered in the string of things, that agent has an immediate understanding of the booking, what has happened, what needs to happen, your mood, the mood of the client. So there's no starting again, which is anyone who's been on a phone call that goes into a call center, be it anything from cell service to a res pool, more the cruise side of being much, much bigger, but still, that's a very important aspect. Times have changed with COVID, and times are changing in general. The world's becoming much more conscious on green aspects of business. I know a question you get, I hear, have been asked myself, do we do brochures? And I know the answer, which is no. That's an easy one. I'll answer on behalf of him for that. I'll let you answer as to why, though.
Yeah, so, post-COVID, brochures went away. So we have over 115 destinations. I think it's 116 maybe, or something like that. It is very tough to print a brochure for all of those destinations, and oftentimes things become out of date very quickly.
Very quickly, yeah.
So what we have found, and again, a travel agent, a travel advisor that goes to Goway.com is going to find everything they need to know about, again, let's use Thailand as an example, because Asia is trending right now.
It is.
We're going to put on to Goway.com helpful hints. So everything can be found at Goway.com, including suggested itineraries.
Yep.
And it is much easier, it is much more efficient, I should say, and accurate for us to put the focus on a rich, robust consumer site such as Goway.com than print a brochure that we end up sort of having to change things later on down the road, etc. Now, I will also add, we do have a travel advisor guide.
My next question. Yep.
We do have a travel advisor guide, which is currently being printed as we speak.
Yep,
I'll have the new edition 2025 at a local travel show or event near you.
Coming to you. Yeah.
Yep. You could also reach out to me. I'm happy to send some to a travel advisor.
And there will be, sorry to interrupt, there will be a digital version on GowayPro.com as well.
Digital version, is lives at GowayPro.com, and it tells a travel advisor everything they need to know about Goway and how to work with us, including the Goway Pro loyalty card that we talked about, our destination specialist, the Academy.
So any new agent out there, that's probably the first piece of information if you want to work with Goway to get hold of, be it physically or digitally, because as Ian says, it covers pretty much everything we're discussing today.
Yeah, and again, Don, most of I'm trying to think of an exception. Virtually every travel agent, travel advisor that I deal with that is successful, they're using social media, right? It used to be when I was airline, cruise line, it was, print, newspapers. And somebody said the only newspapers in print is good for anymore is the birdcage, right? You'd be hard-pressed to find a newspaper. So everything is going the way of social media. And whatever you see at Goway.com, whether it's a blog article, whether it's an itinerary, and we have some resources at GowayPro.com as well, travel agents are welcomed to lift, to take that, repurpose it onto your social media. If you want to focus on Egypt, take some of our itineraries. It is so simple to do. You just copy, paste, bop it onto your Facebook, bop it onto your Instagram, wherever. It's so easy to do now. So that's where we have put the emphasis. And, not to make too fine of a point of it, but the Goway.com website is so rich in content.
And changing all the time.
And changing all the time.
Back to the point of updates.
Yeah. In terms of themes as well,
Yep.
If you're looking at France, have a look at our food and wine itineraries, right? So we, again, think that is the right thing for us to do because we want to educate not only the consumer, but the travel agent.
Yeah.
And we want them to be able to lean on Goway.com, our consumer site, for the information that they need to be able to get the confidence to have that initial call with a guest to talk about a destination. I would say spend 5, 6, 7 minutes at Goway.com on Thailand. Look at the information that we have in there. It's not just simply us trying to push an itinerary. It's us giving you the knowledge, the tips, if you will.
And also, I think, a big head start. If you don't know a destination,
right,
or even if you do, like as Ian said, our itineraries, they can be taken off the shelf as you see them.
Correct.
Right? No problems there. But really they're designed as that inspirational starting point. So it's, I'm working on India as a plug here for our Goway Pro Travel Academy. And, Northern India is a very popular area. So you can go onto our website, find Northern Indian itineraries, and that's your starting point. You don't have to research, right, Goway's pick this because, as Ian said earlier, like us and everyone else out in the world, we will present to you the best sellers, what everyone will generally ask for. And what we do then is make it special by tailor-making it, tweaking it, twisting a little bit for you and your client. So Goway.com is a huge head start on presenting ideas and starting that conversation, one with your client and then two in turn with your Goway destination specialist.
Yeah, so to sort of answer the question that you asked, why not brochures?
Yeah.
I think it's far more helpful. It's far more beneficial to the travel agent for us to be able to get the information onto Goway.com that they need to be able to confidently have that initial conversation with your guest. And just to pick up on one other thing that you said, thinking back to the dressmaker, we're going to give you here's some of our work. Here's what we've done in the past.
Yeah.
Here's what people kind of like, in terms of a dress for a cruise or a dress for a wedding, etc. And you could say, I like that exactly as it is, do that for me. Or you could say, I like a little bit of that, but I also like a little bit of this. And that speaks to what, Goway does, which is fully customized.
Right. Now, what tools through the AMs, account managers, can travel professionals use to spread the word on? Now, again, we, being Goway, on a monthly basis, have a flyer with either a special or group of specials, or we often do a destination spotlight. This month it's groups. This month being Feb, when we're recording this, Feb 2025. So we have collateral which we produced and which you've mentioned already can be repurposed and forwarded on. But now this might more fall into a group side of things, which we also assist with, our groups department. But if I'm a travel agent and I want to spread the word on, this is me, I'm at a show, Ian, I'm new to the industry. I use my area of expertise. I love Latin America, but I want to spread the word out there that I've got Latin America expertise and or product. How can I do that to my database, to my client base? What's your advice? My
advice is simply take a look at what we have at Goway.com under Latin America. Take a look at some of the blog articles that we have professionally written that reside on our websites as well. You're going to find, I guarantee you, whatever your interest is, you're going to find a blog article that we have written over the past, I don't know how far back it goes. I think it goes back 3 or 4 years. Yeah, I think we cleansed it from then, just with again, for those who may not know, we did a new brand late last year. Rebranding, so with our new brand, I think we cleaned the archives a bit. So, but I think Ian's right, probably at least 4 years back. Yeah, you're going to be able to find an article on that topic, that destination, maybe a particular trend, country, etc. I guarantee you're going to be able to find something. Grab that, throw it onto your social media. Take some of our sample itineraries, pop them onto your social media. Do a little TikTok or whatever, or an Instagram posting, etc. Let people know that you have access to a supplier that does this sort of thing.
Yep.
But find out what it is that you want to specialize in, and promote that along the way. But lean on us to be able to help you get those articles and that content. And I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, I think it's also, dangerous is probably not the right word, but when you start out new, don't try and take on the world literally,
Right.
because there's so much, and each area is so refined in its expertise, knowledge. If you want to be a cruise agent, fine. Now, we don't do the big traditional white cruises, which Ian used to work for, but we can assist pre and post and shore excursions. But a lot of our agents focus hard on cruises, or focus hard on what we term as the flop and drops, your inclusives.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that. Don't get us wrong. That's all fantastic. But those agents specialize. And this is when I think they come to us when they get that question outside their normal area of expertise.
Yeah.
I do cruises, but now someone wants to do the Inca Trail to Peru. They want to go see the mountain gorillas in Uganda. I've never done that. Does a cruise ship go to Uganda?
Yep.
No, they don't, just so you know. But that's when they turn to us.
Yep.
So as a new agent, I would definitely, my advice, I think Ian would support this, is coming with an area of expertise or desire.
Yeah.
Right? If you're into yoga, pick your yoga destinations.
Yep.
If you're into groups, then obviously groups, normally work off the back of an interest. Sports group, knitting group, whatever it may be. Come into the industry if you're new, that is. But even if you're established and you've only, as just discussed, you only sell cruises, or primarily sell cruises, primarily sell the all-inclusives, that's when Goway can really be your supportive partner in regards to helping you outside. I don't want to say in your box, because that's not a fair term, but your area of expertise, branching out and expanding your business.
Yeah.
Watching your business grow outside of what you may be used to. Do the account managers assist with any form of presentation? Again, that normally sits with a group when you have a group of people to present to, but do we, back in the day, I used to do it. I'm not sure if we do it anymore.
We do get calls for that every once in a while, and if the account manager is confident enough to be able to present, I did one in December for an agent that was promoting Ghana.
I knew it was going to be Ghana.
You knew it was going to be going. Where was? So I'm happy to do it.
Yeah.
Because I want to share with them. I could probably do a presentation on Thailand, but it won't be to the same degree as it would be if I had first-hand knowledge
and had an impact.
Right.
Ghana
so,
did,
I mean, I can talk about Ghana, and I'm happy to do that. So it really comes down to the account manager. But yes, we do. We offer that as a support. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we also, a lot of the agents out there, you mentioned this earlier, when you come on board, you'll be part of a larger group, a consortia, as we would term it.
Right.
And we often do, I know you do often, one of our bigger partners, you do a webinar for them, which is really an intro to Goway. Often, most times, is that what the subject matter is?
It tends to be what I call the Goway 101.
Mm-hmm.
Here's what you need to understand. Here's
a lot of what
we
we've discussed today.
Yeah, a lot of what we can, what we discussed. But more importantly, what is it that Goway can help you with in terms of your particular desires, goals to grow your travel business. But yeah, we do a lot of, I would say we do more of that kind of presenting on Goway. And then as we go along with a lot of our accounts, they'll grow, and then we'll take it to the next level. I just had a request this week from an agency that I work with quite a bit, and we're going to do a webinar strictly on groups.
Right.
They want to grow their groups business. So that's kind of where we do more of the presentations. But as I say, each and every account manager has their own expertise. And if you come to them and say, I need a consumer presentation on Japan, we'll likely be able to find somebody to do it, if not the account manager themselves.
Yeah. Now, it's worth mentioning, too, we have, more to the point, Ian has mentioned numerous times, social media, which is key in this modern day. As part of our webinar series and our LMS, we have an in-house social media person here, Michaela, who's excellent at her job. And I sat down with her and spoke to her, particularly from a new agent point of view, or someone who might be an experienced agent, old school agent who's back in the day of paperwork and stuff, is trying to adapt to the social media world. So we have a very good webinar, which is on our YouTube channel, which I recommend you check out in regards to that. All the sort of, again, to use Ian's term, social media 101, getting into it.
Yep.
within the LMS, I shouldn't say LMS, the Goway Pro Travel Academy, we have a whole section on groups because Goway has one of the largest groups departments in North America. So if you are an existing agent who has groups, or you're getting new into the industry and groups is your thing, then you can check that. It's got all the information you need about a group, from finding it, marketing it. So on the groups part of things, and I've often said to him when I'm asking a question, this is to apply more to a group situation. Again, as I mentioned, we have probably one of the largest groups departments in North America. We have people physically here in Toronto where there's interviews taking place, Vancouver, but like the modern world these days, people spread all over North America and at home. So what is the account manager's involvement, assistance, support when it comes to groups?
Yeah, so that's a lot of agents, particularly new advisors, Don, often are thinking, I want to get into groups. And I can't think of a better partner to partner with than Goway. And why? I think to an agent that came to me at a travel show, and she heard my presentation on groups, and she said, oh my God, she said, I have been losing sleep at night because I am working on a group for Egypt, and I am dealing with 6 gateways. And she went through them all: Chicago, D.C., Philly, Miami, LaGuardia, etc. And she said, I've been thinking, how am I going to coordinate all of these people to get into Cairo, right, from all these different spots? I hooked her up with a groups person, obviously somebody who's an expert on Egypt.
And it runs the same way as an FIT.
Yeah.
The person they hook up with will run through the entire process with them.
Yep. And so anyway, we connected. So to answer your question, we have a lot of involvement because so many travel advisors that I meet, that my colleagues that you mentioned off the top meet, want to grow their group's business. They know that that's lucrative at some point, or they have a passion and they want to get into it. So we will help them to market their group. We'll help them to promote it. We'll also connect them to a destination specialist in the group's team. And I connected with her, and we have conversations throughout the process. Like, I will get a notification that one of my agents has taken out a group itinerary with Goway. I'll reach out to that person and tell them, hey, I'm here to support you. So that's important. But going back to the Egypt, she was losing sleep over all of these gateways that she was going to be able to coordinate. And she said, oh my God, she goes, the group's specialist at Goway, who is my person for the life of that group, and this group was planned, I think, 12, 13 months in advance, has helped me with everything: transfers, meet and greet. We're doing a 1-hour cocktail at the hotel on the night that on the first night. There's a couple of dinners that they wanted planned, excursions. All of these logistical things that will keep a travel advisor up at night, and for good reason. They're trying to figure out, how do I do this on my own? And my job is to say, you're not on your own.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got Goway,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And she said, oh my God, it's been like I can now focus on promoting the group, on marketing the group, on selling it. And I've got Goway in the background doing all of the logistics. Because, again, we think about the relationship and the fact that Goway has been around for 55 years. Yep. We have a lot of these established contacts. And chances are it's not our first Egypt group. So we just kind of hit a switch and we start, providing those services that the travel agent asked for. So to go back to your original question, how does the account manager help? We can have the initial conversation with you. Come to us with that idea. Have the conversation with it, whether it's me or Steve or Corey or Evan, whoever it is. Here's what I'm thinking of doing, Ian or Evan. What is your thoughts on this? Have you worked with somebody who's done an Egypt group before, etc.? What are the kind of things I should watch for? I have a lot of those conversations with travel advisors at the very beginning stages of the group.
Yep.
Then when that's sort of, figured out, that piece, then we take that and we match it to a Goway groups specialist that has the expertise in that destination. And I kind of then, at that point, step back. Not entirely out of it, because the travel agent and I will again talk sort of at milestones.
Throughout the process, yeah.
Yeah, throughout the process. So we're definitely there to support, to help, to guide. And I just think that for any account manager, helping the travel advisor to sort of get on their feet, take whatever their ideas are, their passion is, and to sort of help them, give them the tools that they need to succeed. I really see that as being our number one job. And that's what I absolutely love about being an account manager for Goway.
Yeah, as do the rest of the team out there.
Yes, absolutely.
And something that Ian alluded to, but again to the details, which I will, is from that airline point of view of different gateways. Goway is also an air consolidator.
Yes. Yep.
We can do insurance for you as well. So basically, if you want, you can use Goway as your one-stop shop for everything, be it groups, be it FIT, or you can do bits and pieces with us as well. We do that often as well, where someone may have a cruise booked. We'll do pre and post and or shore excursions. Or they have an all-inclusive. Then they want some more sort of customized work pre or post. So whatever your needs are, Goway can assist 100% in all of it or 20% of all. Again, whatever you need to do, we will be there to assist. So keep that in mind as well. So we'll wrap things up here. Now the boys are out there. Again, boys, it just happened that way. But they're out there all the time traveling, though you've had a quiet start to 25 so
quiet
far.
Start to 2025, and it's about to get crazy.
Because we're coming up to travel show season, really, aren't we, at the moment? Yeah.
March, April, May, there's a lot going on. I'm going to be seeing, I think I kind of added it all up between shows and individual meetings. It's well over 1,500 people.
1,500 people.
Travel advisors that I'm going to be seeing just between March and the end of April.
Wow.
So that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a lot of people, a lot of traveling for all the team. They're out there literally on flights, if not all the time, very close to all the time. It's Goway's 55th anniversary this year, 2025. So we have some Canadian road shows coming up in March, which I'll be part of. You'll have there at the shows. You'll see Rajesh and Jason, our Canadian-based account managers. Oh, one thing that I wanted to touch on too. We keep saying account managers. For those who work with Goway for a while or maybe used to BDMs as a term, business development managers, Goway coming out of COVID restructured. So they're called account managers. And what does that mean?
Yeah, so account managers means we are associated to whoever the travel agent's consortium is or head office.
Right.
And that way, Don, we kind of argue the benefits of both. I think on an account manager side, I have complete visibility in terms of all the marketing activities that we have planned with that consortium or that head office, whatever you want to call it, that the travel agent is part of. And I see it entirely. And that goes for all of the account managers. So I think this model works really well. It's not based on geography. It's based on who are you associated with as a travel advisor, and then we match you up to your Goway account manager, and they have complete visibility of that account and our activities with that account.
Right. Now, if you're away or something on holidays or traveling, as the case may be, that doesn't mean that there isn't an account manager to help someone if an issue comes up and Ian is your account manager and he's not around for whatever reason, then one of the other team will pick up the issue and sort it out for you. So again, just because it's an account doesn't mean that you're left alone if you're not part of that account, so to speak. Okay. The boys are out there. We'll all be out there, as I say, Rajesh, myself, and Jason for the Canadian road shows. Then later in the year, we're doing taking it on the road again in the US, so we can meet everyone down there. Ian will be joining us. Plus Steve, Evan, Corey will be around for those as well. So that's the company stuff. But again, they're out there all the time. So if you're at if your consortia is having a trade show, more than likely Goway will be there. Come out and say hi to the boys. If you need any of them at any time, I will put up all their email addresses now for those who need them. If you go to our YouTube channel, each of them has a 45-second minute little profile on themselves with their contact numbers as well, so you can reach them out there. GowayPro.com, of course, has everyone's contact information, as will our Insider's Guide, which is, Ian's already said, is being updated. So you can find us very easily if you need us. Before we go, Ian, you want to say anything else before we say goodbye?
I just want to say I am tremendously excited about 2025, Don. We were just talking about this yesterday. January has been tremendous in terms of sales.
Yes, it has.
Every travel advisor I talk to, no matter what consortium they're part of or head office they're part of or even independent, as you mentioned, are having a terrific January. And they're expecting an even better February and March. So I am really looking forward to this year and all that it holds. And, of course, the 55th year is a big celebration for Goway, and we couldn't do it without our travel advisors supporting us.
Indeed. So everyone out there, again, thank you for all your support for the last 55 years and going forward. We will see you on the road sometime in 25. Thanks, Ian.
Thanks, Don. Appreciate it.
No worries.